The strength and flexibility of the muscles that cross your knee could be the core problem for your knee pain and discomfort. Shouldn't always think that you have cartilage or ligament damage. A good treatment of muscular massage therapy on muscles could greatly affect the function and the happiness that your knee provides for you. With 13 muscles that cross the knee joint, boy, there's a lot that can be done. Maintenance on those muscles and even an injury to just one of those muscles could cause pain and discomfort, and don't think it's a dramatic or traumatic thing for you. Feel free to contact us at Kona Center for Muscular Massage Training Center.
Today we're here with Steve Valanza of Worms Hawaii, and Steve sells the worm bins.
They're the Gustanito worm bin, meaning little red worm bin. It's basically a worm house. We'll talk about it in a moment. So basically, on the simple form of using a worm bin for the house, like I said earlier, there is a layering system. The first layering system is actually what you use to harvest worm castings. And at that point, when you're ready to harvest worm castings, you need to coax the worms upwards into other layers. As you can see here, there's papayas, and so they're coming up to eat the worms, or eat the food that they have. And then this top one is also a feeder. So basically, on a really quick level, you can grab a papaya. I like to break it up a little and just place it on top. And what this does, it coaxes the worms to come up to the next level to start eating. Some of the products that I consider food for the worms. This is a final product of my compost, and it's just a real nice, it's a nice soil, but it also is a nice food source to break down even a better source of humus for the worms. And so I can feed them a final product of some composting material. I also can feed them horse manure from Cloverleaf Dairy in Hawaii. Then there's stuff that falls on the ground, papaya, avocados. We sometimes have some lettuce that goes wilty and we don't want to eat it, so instead of throwing it away, all of these products right here, everything that's a vegetable or fruit, we can give to the worms. Some stuff that worms don't like is an acidic product, a lemon, tomato for an example. We don't want to feed them that, and or meat products or anything with oil on it. It basically just slows down their digestive systems, and we want them to be happy worms, so they produce more worms and a great casting. Also, what I have here is just a little container which sits on the side of my sink in the kitchen, and it's just a real simple way. It's a fancy design that I have, but basically I have all kinds of good things in here. Papayas, papaya seeds, avocados, some coffee grounds. So on a daily pattern, you always just contain this, put the lid on, and every day we can feed our worms with a product that comes straight out of our house, which most people consider waste, and I consider gold food. So with our spout system here, it collects all of the excess fluids. I consider it worm tea. So a very simple spout system. Just turn it on, releases fluids, worm tea. Worm tea is actually a really good source of fertilizer also. What you do is you have a 10-to-1 mixture, 1 part worm tea, 10 parts water. So this is another form of worm production. It's a different kind of system. It's a trough system that I gathered. All of these products right here are recycled from the neighborhood. I found a piece of tin, roof tin, and I just built this. So basically what this is a trough system. So I have what happens here is you give your worms. I have 20 pounds in this section right here. So what I've done is I made a bedding for them, and then I put the worms down, and then I give them a food source. So their food source right now would be clippings from your garden, manure that we spoke about earlier. They really love this. So what happens is I leave this bee for about a week. I'm letting them go. So pound for pound, worms can eat their weight. So I have 20 pounds worth of worms here, and they should be able to devour 20 pounds worth of manure in a week's time. They say a day, but I'm actually trying to create a great worm casting, so I'm letting them eat their castings a little more than normal. But per day, 20 pounds worth of worms should be able to eat 20 pounds worth of garbage, rubbish, organic rubbish, I should say. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to coax up some worms here and hope it works out. Due to ag restrictions, we are not allowed to ship worms into the state of Hawaii. So please do not ship worms into the state of Hawaii. But we do have worms here that we can start setting systems up to create more worm production, so that we can each individually have worms for our homes. I say do it, no matter how you do it, and we can make it happen.